again. We're recording. This is Jacob and Josh reading the news, going through, trying to figure out what the hell happened in the last week and how we can possibly survive and process the unfolding horrors that continue to plague our existence in this decrepit year of our Lord 2025.
My name is Josh, and that was Jacob. Let's try and cope with the horrors. You're driving mostly this episode today, so I'll just be the audience surrogate today.
Cool, cool.
Well, I have a couple things to share that I'll pepper through, but
Yeah, we'll get through
by
it.
all means.
We got plenty of time. We're just hanging out as always. The Jacob and Josh show. So, how about
Why's
this?
your name got to be first? Huh?
Fine, Josh and Jacob. Yeah, I don't
No,
care.
it's fine. It makes more sense because of alphabetical. It's fine. I don't actually
Okay,
give a shit.
okay. How about we start with the economy?
Okay.
Uh,
And how it's a turducken of bubbles.
it is in fact a turducken of bubbles, and the first bubble seems to have popped, which means we've got a few months of just steady decline, followed by elaborate shitting the bed. Uh,
Mm.
the because Trump because the government was shut down for so long, we didn't get a jobs report. And this comes after he also fired the Bureau of Labor
The Bureau of
Statistics
Labor
head
Statistics head. Yeah.
because he didn't like the numbers that were real and he just couldn't handle that. So they finally released the newest jobs report,
Which can't be trusted.
which can't fully be trusted.
Oh.
But it's still bad. October figures reveal a loss of 105,000 jobs. Uh,
Holy shnikes.
uh, November added 64,000, which is still down
Half.
half. Unemployment rate, and these numbers are from CBS News, by the way, from this morning. Unemployment rate rose to 4.6%, highest level since September 2021. Uh,
You mean 6 months after? No. Okay, I guess that's a year. A
yeah,
year after the pandemic, but still, that's not great.
700,000. Businesses are not hiring as they adjust to tariffs, uncertain conditions, and AI. The result is about 700,000 more unemployed Americans than there were a year ago, said Heather Long, chief economist at the Navy Federal Credit Union. Um,
Have you heard about the K curve? Is what they're calling the
yeah,
economy now.
yeah. So basically, and if you look at a good graph of the economy and unemployment of the lines and how they intersect, traditionally the unemployment rate in relation to the stock market is really close. They follow each other very closely.
They're they're pretty well correlated. Yeah.
In the last year they split. The stock market is going up while while the employment rate is going down. That never happened before. That doesn't make any damn sense and is the biggest example of an economic crash waiting to happen.
Yeah, it's like look. I thought the J curve was going to be the worst thing that we had to worry
Nope,
about,
nope.
which has already been mounting.
K
But
comes
nope,
after,
turns out so it turns out K curves are in
and
fact worse,
and
something
then
we
we get
didn't know could happen.
we get an L curve, which is just down and straight at
It's
the
a flat
bottom.
line. It's a
Yeah,
flat line. Time of death 2026.
but silver is now $66 for the very
Is that
first time.
more or less? I don't follow precious gems and metals.
Yeah,
Is that more or
all
less?
metal in general is at highs. This is by far the highest it has ever been. It hit a new high a couple days ago where they're like, okay, it's gonna pull back now. No, it's still
Is
going.
that is that $60 per ingot? Like what is the
That's
unit there?
$66 per ounce.
Okay, per ounce. Okay.
Yeah, it has more than doubled in the last year.
Well, time to go melt down grandma's flatware.
Right, like that's what that means. And
Jacob,
it's
do you have access to a crucible?
uh, I can get one. I
All
can get
right,
one.
let's talk afterward.
I can get one real
I can
cheap.
get you a crucible by the end of this.
Yeah, yeah. There are ways. There are ways to. You don't want to know about them. I can get you a
I can
toe.
get you a crucible by the end of this week. You could. To be fair, so could I. We know too many weird people.
We really do.
Oh,
Let's. I'm cutting that
okay.
out.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Moving on from the economy that is fun, let's go into foreign policy. Uh, so, did you see?
What deep level foibles have we induced? Oh, are we going to talk about the oil tanker?
Okay, so there's three or four things here. So the first sort of deep cut that a lot of people probably wouldn't have heard about is the big strategy guide that the federal government releases every year to all the generals, admirals, diplomats, etc. That's like, this is our general view of things going forward, and your guide to like, this is our goals, whatever your job is, this is what you're working towards. That's not a new thing. That happens almost every year. And traditionally it's very bland, generic. It's very institutional. For the first time, this year's version mentioned the president by name. That has never happened, and he's referenced directly 30 something times.
Well, we already know that in order for the president to read anything, you have to make it about him and you have to put
Oh,
pictures in. Are there diagrams? Do they have
there's
pictures and diagrams?
there's no way in hell he read this. And if he, even if he could read it anyway, the biggest issues, there are many issues, but it's essentially just a propaganda rhetoric pamphlet disguised as foreign policy, and you can tell it was written mainly by Miller, Vance, and Hegseth, because it specifically talks about the civilizational erasure of Europe due to immigration from the
Mm.
Arabs.
Gotta love the white genesis. I mean, white genocide line that's been pounded for a century and a half.
Yeah, yeah, and it's getting worse, and this has done more to damage our alliance system than probably anything else they've done so far, and that's
The exception of the Arab world being, of course, the Saudis, which we've decided to whitewash through entertainment. Don't
right.
forget about all that.
But the vast majority of the people going to Europe are Syrian, Lebanese, Palestinian, Iraqi, um, you know, and
All the places we've
we've bombed,
destabilized.
that we've bombed the shit out of. They're not. So the thing is, this Europe has basically come to terms, thanks to this, is slowly coming to terms with the fact that the most powerful military alliance in the history of the human race is over. NATO's
Mm,
done.
mm.
This basically says we can. It openly admits we can't be everywhere at once, which is true. Like, it's there's some specific truths that a lot of previous administrations just have been unwilling to admit. This does. That's not necessarily a bad thing. What the bad thing is that the G7 should be gotten rid of, and we replace it with the core five countries of the United States, Japan, China, India, and Russia, and ignore Europe altogether.
So wait, I just have a question. This document that normally comes out,
Yeah.
does it normally like? Obviously, it's about our relation to other countries, but the fact that it's focusing on demographics in Europe seems a bit odd if this
It
is
is.
about the
It is.
United States.
Well, it specifically references that the Europeans need to revert to a mindset and strategy that they had in the 1930s.
But okay, well, first off, very dangerous. Given,
That is the most dangerous thing you anyone can do.
so it just sounds like they want them to blame the Jews, is what I'm
They
hearing
want
when you
them to
say
blame
revert back to opinions of the 1930s. That's what I hear.
not just opinions, but forms of government.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Um, but
Uh,
I guess my question is what? Why are they talking about Europe? This is supposed to be what American like top brass are doing. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And so
This is a memo to Americans, not to Europeans.
well, so yeah, that's one of the reasons why this is deeply weird. But what that is that's the reasoning for the reviving of the Monroe Doctrine. The doctrine is in. This is saying that this is our zone of influence. No one else is welcome at all. And that's, as a geopolitical guy, like, that makes a little bit of sense. We've historically been violent and stupid with it, like petulant children, in how we deal with our neighbors whenever we have that mindset. But that is a classical American mindset. They're talking about being realistic without being realist, principled without being idealistic, muscular without being hawkish, and restrained without being dovish. The 29 document says. It's
restrained without being dovish. Wow, that is what a poignant line. Okay, so we're still gonna hit you. We're just gonna wait a sec.
We're just gonna wait a sec. Yeah. None of this. It doesn't make a damn bit of sense. But when you combine that with the other things that have happened recently, first was, as you mentioned, the super tanker.
Which, by the way, you told me about, and I heard, like, I'm pretty plugged into the news. I did not hear much talk about this at all. And the fact of the matter is the United States are now officially privateers. We're pirates. How is this not, like, this is piracy?
Yeah, it is. And there's going to be more of it. So for those who didn't hear about it, we commandeered a super tanker with over 100 million barrels of oil, or gallons of oil, probably gallons. I'm not sure. These are fucking big boats. We took it over, and we decided that
from Venezuela,
that it's ours now. You can't have it. We just stole the thing. We claimed it was stolen so that we could steal it. But so you can't steal what we stole from the thieves. I guess is their line of thinking. And when Trump was asked about this, he said,
what are we going to, Mr. President, what do we plan on doing with the tanker and all the oil?
I don't know. I guess we'll keep it. Was literally his response. I don't know. I guess we'll keep it.
Fuck it. We're going to keep it.
No, they'll just set it on fire. It's just like the Joker burning all the money.
It's not about the oil. It's about sending a message. It's about the oil.
It's about the oil.
And socialism.
And the newest thing that happened today that we are going to probably get some answers on later tonight. Trump announced a complete blockade of all oil tankers in and out of Venezuela as of this afternoon. And then he posted on Truth Social, I don't have it in front of me, but the lines where they're never going to know what hit him. We're going to send them the biggest attack like never before seen. It's really great. We've got the largest naval force ever assembled in Venezuela. Like, it may be the largest naval force ever assembled in Venezuela, but D-Day was bigger. But either way, we're probably this is regime change. We're probably going to knock out the Maduro government, which, again, good riddance to them. But at the same time, this is,
I hope, power vacuum.
This is, if you want a massive amount of Venezuelan refugees, this is how you get it. This
and how you get Venezuelan terrorists in 20 years.
And exactly, it's the same boat. It's the same.
It's Afghanistan, wax, rinse, repeat. We did it in Vietnam.
Before, it's Honduras. It's Guatemala.
Yeah.
It's El Salvador. Yeah. It's everything. It's the Reagan administration again.
Play the hits.
Yeah. So
have you seen that? Have you seen that meme? That's a graph.
Here it is. From Truth Social, but via ABC News. Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger, and the shock to them will be like nothing they have ever seen before, until such time as they return to the United States all of the oil, land, and other assets that they have previously stole from us.
Stole from us
in
Venezuela.
Right. They're saying that the Venezuelans have stolen our oil and land.
This is the same shit where he talked about helping people with humanitarian aid, and they could help us back by giving us oil, which isn't humanitarian aid. That's a quid pro quo.
That's but this is dumber than that. That's hey, that oil you have, you stole it from us. when like it's
Like that's not what the crazy thing is like, okay, the Monroe Doctrine is like from sea to shining sea, right, like Manifest Destiny is both oceans, right? Like this is
yeah.
so far past. So wait, everything from us to Venezuela is ours as well.
Well,
Like what
no.
does he mean?
So Monroe Doctrine, it's different from Manifest Destiny.
Manifest Destiny.
Yeah, Manifest
Okay.
Destiny was Jefferson saying that the United States has the. Sorry, my dog is sneezing. The United States has the divine right to go from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The Monroe Doctrine from James Monroe, a little bit later, uh, basically was the foreign policy statement that the entire Western Hemisphere is the United States' backyard, and European powers are not welcome to
Hmm.
intervene in like Eastern Hemisphere powers are not welcome in the Western Hemisphere. The Western Hemisphere we police, but they're supposed to leave it alone. And the Venezuelans, previously the Panamanians, some others have gotten closer with China and Russia, and one of the things that a lot of people gave flack to Rubio about in the very early days was when he went to Panama and basically bullied the Panamanians into kicking the Chinese corporations out from the Panama Canal. That, like, aggressive, not a bad idea. That's reasonable. That is because that is a legitimate point of national security, point of our economy, point of our ability to function in both navies
I
from a
mean, it
military
is a
perspective.
literal bottleneck,
Right.
like
It's the ultimate one.
it's
And
a
the
linchpin.
right.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. This is fucking stupid. This is, we, the United States, are the biggest oil producer on the planet. We make more oil than the Saudis, and we have for a long time, regardless of what anyone wants to tell you. We do not need their oil. If we did develop their oil fields, get some more on the market,
That,
the
but that's not oil till 30 years from now. That's the
right.
thing.
It
It's
takes
like it's not ready right now.
it all needs because their infrastructure has been completely degraded by the Chavez Maduro governments. It's a completely corrupt system. All of these things are true. So, but yeah, it's 20 to 30 years before all that comes online. In the long term, if they were to do that, just thinking long term geopolitical stuff, that means oil goes down even further in value. It floods because it floods the market, and
Sure.
that makes all of our gas a lot cheaper. And that also means that the Iranian and Russian governments don't have an economy because they need oil to be at a certain level per barrel.
Hmm.
And it's like when you flood the market with more oil, that brings it down. I'm not a fan of the Iranian government. I'm possibly even less of a fan of the Russian government. So I'm relatively okay with that. But again,
Okay,
that's
so let's just get that on record. Jacob and Josh read the news is anti-Iranian Ayatollah.
yeah, fuck him.
uh,
Yeah, no,
uh,
yeah. Well, like I'll do a whole other episode just on Iran eventually. Beautiful country, terrible, terrible leadership. Um, moving on to the horror. Rob Reiner and his wife
hmm.
had their throats slashed in their home by their son.
L- Likely by their son. Yeah.
It seemed, yeah. They were at a party held by Conan O'Brien with Bill Hader and a bunch of other people shortly before. Their son was there, apparently going around and just harassing people, asking if they were
Sure.
famous, making a general ass of himself. And then at some point later that night, the arguments that started there persisted. Uh, he was at some point he checked into a hotel, and later a housekeeper found massive amounts of blood in the shower, and a sheet rope down outside the window.
Mm.
That's how he got in and out without being seen. To try to keep an alibi, I guess. So I guess there's an amount of premeditation there, not just crime of passion. But again, this is
But also the man's have. I mean, I'm not trying to
I mean
you
severe
know.
mental illness. Yes, I mean
Right.
that's
That's what I was getting at here. Is
yeah,
like and that doesn't justify anything. I'm just saying that like he's had addiction and mental health problems for his whole adult life.
right.
So
And that all of this alone wouldn't be worth talking
new
about.
something we would talk about. Yeah.
In general, no. It's tragic, especially from the guy who made The Princess Bride, the greatest movie of all time.
Facts.
But the president of the United States, Donald Trump, again, who keeps coming up.
He's
Hold
got to insert himself into every
on.
story. Do you have the Truth Social post, or should I pull it up?
I had that, but it went away. I'm pulling it up now. He took to his Truth Social scam site to um, ramble about this. Uh, that he was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, talking about himself in the third person.
He's done that recently in press conferences, by the way, about this. Someone asked him further about whether or not he wanted to like rescind his like or soften this comment that you're about to read, and he was basically like, Donald Trump doesn't like Reiner. Like he said it like that, and I'm like, oh my god, are you
Oh.
the Todd from Scrubs? Like, what are we doing here?
It gets worse. I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. So he goes from first person to third person.
He says it again in a question. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it continues. I can't bear.
No,
He's
no,
he's he's basically
but he
blaming.
ends it with rest in peace. He ends it with rest. Oh, you know what's crazy is Rob Reiner's wife is the one who took the she's a photographer. She took the photograph for the Art of the Deal. She did the front cover.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's so weird.
Ah, small
Yeah,
world.
yeah. But basically, it says reportedly due to the anger he caused others through a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. So that because Rob Reiner did not like Trump, he that drove his son insane, and so his son, presumably in a fit of madness induced by, like, again, add you can't logic this out, but it's, even if you
No,
tried.
generally speaking, you want to say that the person who you're against has the problem.
Yeah,
It's the person who did the tragedy, but he's blaming Reiner, and then it's like, so you're saying that he trolled one of your fans who's allegedly Reiner's son into killing him because he hates you.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah, none of it tracks. None of it tracks. This is clearly someone who has poo brain wrote this.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is worth saying because it's insane. This is a sitting president going, rest in peace, bozo. I hate you.
Yes,
This is like the Overton window has been shattered when it comes to what is normative for a president to say. A president is saying that someone died and it's because they hate me, and that's why they died, because they hate me and they're a poo poo head. Like,
and therefore presumably they deserve it because that's the next logical step in the thought process from that conversation. That's what that.
which just imagine if Obama said this, just imagine if Clinton said this, imagine if Reagan said this, right? This is like 12 scandals rolled into one, and yet it's not, because there's a Watergate every 6 hours here, you
Yes,
know.
yes, there is. Another horror that happened, and because we got so much going on. The Hanukkah celebration in Australia.
Oh yeah.
15 are dead.
Have you seen the video?
No, no, I haven't.
I, I saw the video of the Muslim man attacking
Yes,
the shooter and taking the gun away. That was heroic. But
Yeah,
anyway, I'm
and
I'm
well,
sorry
and
to cut you off.
that's yeah, well, that's what I was going to get to. So, somebody showed up with a rifle and killed 15 people attending a Jewish community event at Bondi
To start off
Beach.
Hanukkah. Yeah.
That was starting off Hanukkah. Another 40 people were hospitalized. This is from CBS News. Um, uh, 50-year-old father was killed, and the son, identified as 24-year-old Naveed Akram, Pakistani-based national in Sydney, uh, was in custody in critical but stable condition. Um, so I mean, this was the reason I normally don't even bring up a lot of identity stuff, just because I think that has overall been overdone, especially by white people. Um, but it needs to be said that while this was a religious and ethnic attack, it was a Muslim man whose name was Ahmed Al Ahmed, the most Arab of names. Uh, Jumped in, risked himself,
Got
and
shot twice if I
got
remember
he did
correctly.
get shot, didn't he? And he was he we don't know how many lives he saved by doing that. So
He
that's
ripped. If you watch the footage, which I don't necessarily recommend, but if you watch it, he bull rushes the guy who's got what looks to be a hunting rifle, as far as I can tell.
Mhm.
Um, and he yanks it away from him, unarmed. The dude just sees what's happening and reacts. And Ahmed then like yanks it from him. The dude tries to run away, and then you see him point the gun at the original shooter, and it's just like it really goes to it.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
hats off to Ahmed.
that is an act of badassery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
heroism that I'll never know. You
right.
know.
At least you hope you don't ever have
Well,
to.
and then did you hear about people, Republicans in the government talking about how like this level of anti-Semitism and then they used it as a means of anti-Arab sentiments, even though that the man who stopped the
Oh
shooter
yeah, yeah,
was an Arab,
yeah. They're refusing to say who it was that stopped it because they want to make it as divisive as possible. They want
and
to
then
make, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then Netanyahu said that the reason that this happened is because uh uh, uh
the prime minister of Australia, uh,
said something anti-Zionist. Yeah.
which he didn't. He said that genocide is happening in Palestine. That is not anti-Zionist. That's not anti-Semitic.
That's objective fact. It's
That right.
objective fact.
We can't help that. Um, so that's where we're at with that I believe is the biggest horror is those two events. But here's
Can I move on to something a little lighthearted,
please
more lighthearted?
please go for it.
You mentioned Rubio. So did you hear that Rubio is banning uh, a font because it's too woke? Okay. So Calibri uh, uh, was put as the primary font of the military under the Biden administration because it's better for people with dyslexia than Times New Roman, which was the original font. So all documents being and if you, I'm big into design. We don't need to go into too much detail about fonts, but basically there are certain fonts that make it easier to read and are more scannable. And Times New Roman, because of the serifs, those are those little things attached to each of the letters that make it look like it's from a typewriter. Because of the serifs, it make it harder to read for certain people with vision issues.
Yeah.
So this is coming from Katie Couric Media from her website by Jeff Jarvis. But Marco Rubio has said that Times New Roman is now the official typeface of uh, of the State Department because he wants to ban it because Biden put it in once again for accessibility reasons. Because apparently accessibility is too woke. We need to make it harder for people to read. And Katie Couric's reporter mentions that this is not the first time that a fascist regime has banned fonts, and this is actually quite common. Hitler and his administration was known to keep it, limit the typefaces that were used. And
Yeah.
I personally don't think it is a coincidence that they chose Times New Roman, because one, it's got the classic look, and they're, fascism is always about nostalgia, and two, it has the word Roman in it, and
And they like that. Yeah.
fascists love ancient Rome and ancient Greece. It even though that they're like aggressively homophobic, even though that those are some of the most homophobic societies that have ever existed. I
No,
mean,
homosexual,
homosexuals.
the gayest
I
of societies.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. That's
And
what I meant.
okay,
Yeah.
so I for one prefer Times New Roman. I'm a classicist. I just like that look. This is fucking stupid. We don't need to be spending time on this. We don't need to be spending money on this. And yeah, this is a very uh, fascist sort of thing because it's all about aesthetics. It's all about illusion. It's all about image. Nothing of substance. The more substance you
I
do,
yeah.
the more people will realize what a sham you are.
I
And
don't remember who said it, but I believe it was an existential female philosopher. But she said that that fascism is the aestheticization of politics.
yeah,
It's about making these grand images, and it's not about what is objectively true. It's about making someone feel something via artistic manipulation, essentially.
yeah, I think that was Hannah Arendt. Is who I think that was. Um, could have been de Beauvoir, but sounds more Arendt. Would you like to hear about the horrors that some people want to be visited upon us?
Sure.
So, the co-founder of Palantir, Joe Lonsdale, he's a co-founder and I believe CEO of Palantir. He calls for public hangings to show masculine leadership in America.
Is this the same guy who also recently has been talking about that if there's a surveillance state, people are more likely to be on their P's and Q's?
No, that is another one. That was Larry Ellison. That's the guy, and I was going to bring him up in a
Yeah.
minute. That's the guy who bought Paramount and is trying to buy uh not
Via
CBS.
Skydance, right? And then now he wants to buy most of HBO.
Well, no, yeah, well, he's buying Warner Brothers Discovery, is what he
Okay.
wants to do. So, yeah, he's trying to. It's Netflix versus Paramount for control of Warner Brothers. So who?
Whoever wins, we both lose. It's like aliens versus predators.
Yeah, and I'd rather have Netflix by far for a number of reasons. Partially because they would leave James Gunn alone. Um, uh,
Even though that when Netflix buys it now, the movies are doomed forever because they just seem to be allergic to. Anyway, we're getting off course here. Tell me about the co-founder of Palantir.
yeah. Oh yeah, I got to go back to that. uh, if I'm in charge later, we won't have a three strikes law. We will quickly try and hang men after three violent crimes, and yes, we will do it in public to deter others. Our society needs balance. It is time to bring back masculine leadership to protect our most vulnerable.
Nothing more manly than hangings.
Yes. And I get three or more violent crimes. And again, that's if I'm in charge later. That is
Yeah,
that's a plan. The man
yeah,
has a plan to be in
yeah,
charge. Uh,
yeah.
he's looking at a picture of him. He seems to be well. He's got very punchable teeth, but
Mm.
you know the perfect wavy hair, dude bro. I'm richer and smarter and better than you kind of face. He seems like somebody that the tech bro wing of MAGA would absolutely fall in behind.
How come it's always the people like your Jordan Petersons, your Nick Fuenteses, who are always talking about masculinity? These people who don't who don't have an ounce of like traditional masculinity in their body. It's always these sickly people who are interested in masculinity.
Well,
You ever
again,
notice?
it's closeted shit, and it's the same thing with Hitler. I mean, Hitler was gay as hell. He had at least two lovers we know about, one of whom we know he murdered, and another one
Okay,
was a high ranking member within the German government.
so you saying this reminds me of something that I heard on a podcast, which is every woman that Trump has ever been with seems like what a gay man would think a straight man is into.
Yes, yes,
You've got Russian supermodels, You've got the most stereotypical porn star spanking him. By the way, let's not forget, Stormy Daniels admitted to spanking him with a newspaper and was paid for money.
And he gave
That is a real thing that happened.
and he
Donnie
gave
likes to be spanked.
Bill Clinton a blowjob.
Hey, Bubba could be Ghislaine Maxwell's horse. We don't know.
Well, they did.
Could be Bubba Hotep.
Well,
we don't know.
No, there was a. Did you see the picture of Clinton?
That was made by AI. Unfortunately,
Are you sure?
That was made by. Yes, I am sure. It's I don't remember the name of it. Banana Rama or whatever. It's a new AI that Google has made. It's been confirmed that is a falsified. AI is getting to the point now where
yeah,
we can't tell. As I even forwarded that around to my buddies because I thought it was funny. But no, it was made by an image generator.
Well, nothing is true anymore. Truth is woke, and so we can't have truth, and so therefore Trump gave Clinton a blowjob.
This timeline makes no fucking sense.
No, it does not.
Ever since David Cameron fucked that pig, we've been spiraling towards just whatever this is, the most hackneyed timeline.
Yes. Let's see. In completely different news.
Now for something completely different.
And now for something completely different. Something that impacted me directly. I watched this live as it happened. It's a big deal for millions and millions of people around the world. John Cena has retired from professional wrestling.
Yeah, the tap out heard around the world.
It was, man. That was amazing. I loved it. I loved every single.
Well, okay, so before you get it, like, you got to give some background because I'm guessing 90% of the people who are listening to this right now don't have all of the details of John Cena and him retiring.
Yeah, okay.
And
John Cena's been not just a main guy in wrestling, but basically the main guy in wrestling for over 20 years, for almost 25 years. He has been one of the most consistent, hardest working, and stars in wrestling. He basically carried the company for many years when there wasn't much in the way of other stars because a lot of them had gone off to Hollywood or retired. And now, of course, he's in Peacemaker. He's got his own movie career, and he's better than The Rock.
He's better than The Rock because he can take a joke. Sidebar, he is, I believe, one, if not the most Make-A-Wish Foundation celebrities of all time.
So he's the most. Yeah. He's in first place, and it's not even close. And he was doing that before WWE knew about it. For several years, he just did that on the side. And then WWE got onto it, and now it's a bigger thing. But he is a genuinely good person. His entire ethos that he put forward that inspired millions of people is hustle, loyalty, and respect, never giving up, and everything like that.
Honestly, he's who Andrew Tate wants to be.
He is. He really is. And he's a genuinely good man. Is the thing. He's kind-hearted. I watched an interview with him where this guy, this Indian guy, flew from India to somewhere in Europe for a movie to interview Cena on a red carpet.
I heard about this, yeah.
Oh, it was so nice. Like, Cena basically, like, turned the interview around. It's like, how are you? How do you feel? Like, and it just made the guy, you could hear it in his voice how happy it made him. So anyway, that's who Cena is. Cena retired, and he went out the way wrestlers should go out. Is if you have the privilege of having a last match, which many don't, you lose. You put somebody over, you leave the business in a better place than you found it, and that's exactly what he did. And this match was John Cena, the greatest of all time, versus Der Ring General Gunther, versus the guy who is a throwback to the 1960s and 70s strongmen like Bruno Sammartino and Lou Thesz, the guy who is just not fun. He's not showy. He's not a cartoon character. He's from Austria. He is here to beat the hell out of you and feel good doing it. That is all he wants to do. And he did. Him and Cena had a solid match. Gunther dominated most of it. Cena got his finish in a few times. Gunther kicked out after multiple sleeper. Just that's the fact, it was a sleeper hold. It was one of the most simple, old school, not complicated moves. And you just see Cena's face smile, kind of like the sad, okay resignation.
There was that moment. There was that moment where, like in like sitcoms, where like the guy turns off the light and looks back at
Yeah,
the like. It was just like he's like kind of quietly like touching all the fans as he walks away with his hands and stuff like that. But then he just kind of does this like sitcom like, yeah,
yeah,
I left my mark here.
and he's getting choked out, and he just gently taps the arm and gives up. And the crowd throughout this match was so excited. Cena, Cena. When that happened, the entire building of like 10 to 15,000 people goes silent, and they start booing.
The man understands how to work a crowd like nobody
All of
else.
them did. Gunther was so good in this. The crowd goes silent. They start booing. They start chanting bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Like they hated it because Cena gave up. There were children in the audience crying.
Oh yeah.
Like
There were adults who have been following Cena's whole career
Yeah,
that were crying. Yeah.
yeah. Like it's a thing.
I've seen in comment sections people being like, "Oh, this is the end of my childhood," and it's like, because they've been watching John
because it
Cena
is. Yeah,
since he was,
for their
Anyway.
whole lives. So either way, this was amazing. They had a great ceremony where where the locker room came out. The current champions, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, gave him their belts so he could do a little ceremonial thing with them. He left his shoes in the ring, which is an old ceremony, and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And then night before last, Monday Night Raw, Gunther comes out to open the show, and all he does is get booed, and he smiles for like 10 minutes. That's all that happens. And all he does is say, I did what I said I was gonna do. I made John Cena tap out like a little bitch. And he's perfect. And so they've built a great heel, a great villain. That's gonna keep being fun.
Well, I'm glad you feel satisfied with that. Jacob, do you want to hear about some AI bullshit, or do you want to hear an update on Luigi Mangione first?
Give me Luigi.
Okay,
Give me a
so
Luigi.
molto bene. Prego. By the way, if you ever go to Italy, they say "Mamma Mia" and "Prego" way more than you think. I know it's a joke, but like "Mamma Mia" all the fucking time. Anyway, if you remember last week, I mentioned that Luigi Mancione's lawyers are claiming that some of the things that he said in Pennsylvania don't count because he wasn't given his Miranda rights.
Yeah.
The DA's office says that they're not going to use some of those statements from Luigi in their prosecution now.
Good.
So this is from ABC News. The Manhattan DA's office signaled on Tuesday that they would exclude certain statements made by Luigi Mangione while in custody in Pennsylvania in December 9th, 2024. And like I said, this is because they bungled this case left, right, and center. Right. The New York police lieutenant leading the investigation into the shooting testified that he set up recording equipment to take inside the interrogation in the Pennsylvania police station, but he didn't know that it was a one party it was a two party state. So basically, it was illegal for him to record this conversation without Luigi's consent.
Wow.
And he said he didn't know that. I quote. So anyway, the next up is going to be whether or not the evidence in the backpack is going to be thrown out. In which case, like, that's the manifesto allegedly. That's the 3D printed gun. That's anyway. So we'll see what happens, but they continue to bungle this. The last thing on my list Are you familiar with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards?
Yes, they're fun. I won't say they're good.
Yeah. So
I'll say they're fun.
yeah. Well, okay. So I believe last year they pulled all their stuff off of Spotify. They were no longer on Spotify, and the reason why is because of the CEO of Spotify has a lot of interests in AI military stuff, and also they're doing some sketchy things with artists, and of course they're not paying them enough. And because of all these things, they pulled all of their catalog off of Spotify. So Spotify uh, had on it a different musician with a very similar name that turns out to be an AI artist that had remarkably similar music to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards.
Okay.
Uh, it let's see, what was it called? It was it was called Lizard King Wizard. This is from Pitchfork News from December 10th. A series of uncredited King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard covers have been removed from Spotify after gaining traction through the platform's algorithms recommendation search engines, according to Futurism. Uh, Apparently generated by AI, these songs were uploaded by an artist page called King Lizard Wizard and appears to be in the basically in like the discovery page. But then King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, the real band, their frontman, Stu McKenzie, said in his statement that he was trying to see the irony in this situation. But seriously, what the fuck? We are truly doomed here. Uh, so yeah, they have since taken down King Lizard Wizard's quote unquote music, but it was basically just an SEO way of someone trying to pretend to be King Gizzard and Lizard Wizards.
Which,
What else you got for me? That's all on my plate.
well, so I'm just now seeing this live as we're recording.
Breaking
Dan
news.
Dan Bongino stepping down as FBI director early next year. According to Axios, he wants to go back to his show. He misses his podcast. It's just too much work for him to fly around the country and beat the fuck out of little old women.
Oh man,
That's
this is
just
so wild that we just have like a bunch of influencers as our main members of the government right now.
and Cash Patel just constantly looks shocked by
Well,
everything.
did you they bungled this other shooting by grabbing someone off the street and saying that they got him and it was the wrong person again. Just like the person who shot Kirk, right? They keep doing this thing where they just try and get someone as quick as possible,
Yeah,
and then they
someone.
say that they got him, but then they didn't get him. Like this just keeps happening.
Yeah, yeah. They need the scapegoats. They need to look competent, especially when they're not. Oh, and here's this. I saw this earlier, but forgot to pull it up. Moderate House Republicans, there's about four of them, joined with Democrats to force a vote on the ACA subsidies.
Oh
So,
man,
so,
that'd be nice to get health care.
so there was four. Remember, we just had Fetterman, Kane, and the other two. I can't remember who it was. Um, ended the standoff, ended the shutdown, which was over healthcare subsidies, which is going to cause millions of people, including mine, including my wife's healthcare, to skyrocket. Uh,
Yeah.
they folded on that, and now months later, four Republicans have flipped because they know they're in competitive districts.
Yeah, all the like the people who get Affordable Care Act often come from red states. This is the
Exactly.
thing, right?
Yeah, so they're going to force a vote on the ACA subsidies so that it will still probably fail, but at least it will force the Republicans to openly say we don't want people to have health care. That's amazing. Uh, let's see. So what have you got, man? What have you been listening to? What have you been watching? What have you been playing?
um, so I this year I've been making playlists for each season. So I've got my winter playlist that I've worked on. Let me pull it up and I can tell you some stuff. It's got Nate Ratliff's Santa Baby on there. I like
Ah.
that he didn't change any pronouns, so he says I've been a very good girl. um it's got some Modest Mouse on here.
Of course.
Uh Lana Del Rey. Uh, we were promised jetpacks. Now that's a really interesting band. I don't think you'll like them, but you might like Willow Avalon. I think you would enjoy her,
Willow Avalon. I'll look them up.
and also a lot of Sabrina Carpenter. I'm just a big fan of Sabrina Carpenter. And sidebar, Sabrina Carpenter. So I don't know if you're familiar with this, but Sabrina Carpenter got the Trump administration, specifically, uh, uh, what's it called? Who runs ICE? Homeland Security, is that right?
Oh, yeah, Christy Nome.
No, no, I meant the department. It's Homeland Security,
Yeah,
right?
it is. It's Homeland Security.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. So Homeland Security has been posting a bunch of propaganda videos and stuff. They included one that had to do with Halo, like that was like destroy the flood or whatever. That was a couple months ago. But recently they did one that was in reference to Sabrina Carpenter's song Juno. Without getting too much into the details, at the end of every during whenever Juno is played, it's a song about fucking, and so in her concert, there's a line where she says, "Have you ever thought about trying this one?" And in each concert, she does a different sex pose. This is like a thing that she's become iconic at. Like one time, she
Sure.
gets two background dancers to like be Eiffel towering her. One time, it's like her like pantomiming, filleting a microphone, etc. Right? And so the reason I bring this up is the Department of Homeland Security posted a video where they're like, "Have you ever tried doing this one?" And it was them arresting, a Latino person. And then she basically was like, "This is disgusting. You take this down now, or I will be pursuing legal action." And it's gone now. It has been scrubbed. And uh, she like so based Sabrina Carpenter, she's fighting against the Department of Homeland Security and winning.
Well, I mean, that's really good. I hope she sues anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
yeah, totally. Um,
But what about you? Oh yeah, and then I've been watching. Um, my girlfriend and I just started The Sopranos. I've never watched it, so that's what
oh yeah,
I'm getting into now.
oh yeah, I love The Sopranos. I need to rewatch that actually. Um, let's see. I've been
Woke
listening.
up this morning.
Oh, great song, great opening song. But I've been listening to some audiobooks and some interviews. Lately, I'm about to start listening to the audiobook of In Shittification by Cory Doctorow. I've listened to a couple of his interviews recently. I think I sent you one of them.
You
Uh,
did, yeah.
yeah, he's brilliant. He's very fast talking, has really great jokes, great explanations of how and why everything is getting worse. Uh, and I think it's really
On that note, it's like if you think about it from like, Google searches have gotten way worse. And it's like if they make
yeah.
it as efficient as possible, you spend less time on ads,
And
right? If they
that's
make
what
it
he
so that you have to click through.
that's
Yeah.
his point. Like he was the one I
Yeah.
think who originally brought that out was how and why, and he even names the guy who did that, whose idea that was. And I really think in Shittification by Doctor O with Techno Feudalism by Yanis Varoufakis and Ezra Klein's Abundance, those three offer like the best.
A holistic perspective on
Yeah,
why everything's
exactly.
so shit.
Of why
Yeah.
everything's bad. Abundance offers like a potential how things could be less bad. Um, it's still Abundance is my least favorite of the three of them, but it still has a lot of value, at least in terms of conversation.
Thinking about it, I think it was like Merriam-Webster made like 6-7 the word of the year, and somebody else made like rage bait another one or whatever. But like, I really do think in shitification is the word of the year.
it's
Like
it's it's the word.
2025 in
Yeah,
shitification.
everything has gotten progressively worse. And one thing he said in one of his interviews is that he likes the fact that English is a mongrel language. You can just make up words. It's fine. And then you can change the name about them to fit your sentence or whatever. So like he's perfectly fine with it. Using
It's a
enshittification.
very Cromulin language.
Yeah, exactly. And it's but you can use that word for anything and everything as things that are made intentionally worse. Um, so for search engines, for maps, all your apps, everything is made just
Furniture.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You like I bought a
Light bulbs.
yeah. They go out faster. Uh, chairs degrade faster. Like I bought a brand new recliner 3 years ago. Year and a half, it was just junk. I basically and it was too. It was really hard to get in the house, and then getting it out of the house would have been even harder, and my back hurt. So I ended up just destroying it with an axe in my living room, and then just tossing it out the back door. It
You
was.
truly are an orc, Jacob.
It's fun to hit things with axes. I could have shot it, but that would have distressed my wife. So I went.
Uh,
I went with the simpler,
you went
nicer
with the
way.
more. What did they say? What was the phrase? Reserved, not dovish. You went with the more reserved option of a hatchet.
Yes, an axe. Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to belittle your axe.
Yeah, no. The hatchet.
Um,
I use the hatchet for other things, for smaller things. The axe is for the big things.
okay, so what else are you listening to, watching?
I'm still on my ghost kick. I've made a
Hmm.
playlist of my favorite stuff. I can't get over how good everything they did is. That and I'm going back and I listen to Ghost while I'm driving, but then when I get out to work, I listen to Waylon Jennings
Hmm.
and a similar outlaw country, old school stuff like that. Which is a big juxtaposition. So my Wrapped by Spotify is really weird.
Oh, you know what's on my rap from Spotify is the theme song to Deep Space Nine because one night I fell asleep to that on repeat. So there's like for like 9 hours on there in
That's
like I don't know
fantastic,
June. It was just like I needed something ambient to fall asleep through, and so
and
I
that's a
found
great one.
like yeah.
That's a great one,
So
and,
on my spot,
I can see where it would loop really well.
yeah.
Um,
Well, that and a song by uh Jacob and I cut this out if you don't want this to be but Jacob and I have talked about becoming evangelical grifters, and this all started because I listened to on evangelical Christian grifters, and this all started because I started listening to on repeat the song Archbishop Harold Holmes by Jack White, which recently came out with a music video of John C. Riley as a preacher, and it's really good.
I need this. I need to
Oh,
save
I'll
this.
send it to you in the chat.
Yeah, that's needed. I need that in my life. Um, yeah, it would be really fun to be a preaching grifter, grifting preacher, grifter
Unfortunately,
preacher.
we have women who in our lives who tell us no.
Yeah,
We should be
there are
scammers.
conscience, I guess. Because yeah, I went to my uncle's funeral last about a week. It was a week ago. My uncle Troy passed away, and he was an old Southern Christian man. He was him and his wife were part of Christian singing groups that traveled all over. Little prolific, but the preacher for his funeral was dog shit, and instead of telling stories of Troy, they talked about his sense of humor. They talked about how much he loved people, but he didn't tell any stories. There was no illustration. Instead, it was, I'm not trying to emotionally manipulate you, but if you want to see Troy again, you've got to get saved. He's dead in front of us. We can fucking see the man.
Mm.
I'm not going to emotionally manipulate you, but
But here's me emotionally
yeah.
manipulating you.
And so yeah, me and my dad were sitting next to each other, and he kept like staring at
I'm
us.
surprised. I'm surprised that your dad didn't say anything. That
Well,
sounds like a moment where he would stand up and shout.
if we were anywhere else, he would have. And the preacher kept staring at us because we were saying something to each other. Like I was half laughing at how asinine the guy was sounding. My dad
Sure.
is a preacher of many years, knows the Bible better than most anybody, has a very good grasp of the nature of the Christian God and theology, better than by far most. And at one point, the preacher was telling the story of Nicodemus and a conversation with Jesus, and the way he phrased it, Dad just shook his head. His eyes got really big, and he just says, "That ain't even in there."
Oh.
So that was, I was gonna say that was fun. It wasn't.
No.
Uh,
Well, Jacob, we'll catch everybody next time.
we will. We'll catch them. We might release them. We'll see what we do to them when we find them.
It really is contingent on what happens when they catch us. You know?
I mean, do they want to? I mean,
I don't know.
I wouldn't want to catch me.
I'm done with this bit. I'm going to bed.
I'm just saying I'm greasy. You don't want, good luck.